Back like we never left, it's Headcan and Graps, and we are bringing to you today the road to WrestleMania through our Graps and Theories series. And we're just want to look at, after that promo on Friday from The Rock, it's kind of been simmering on me, and I've been curious to see where the WrestleMania directions kind of fall this past month. The energy's kind of died down because we've been building up for Elimination Chamber. All the participants have been decided, and I want to dive in because I think that Rock and Cody promo from SmackDown on Friday has a lot more impact on other storylines out than just Cody Rhodes himself. But before we actually get into that, check out the channel for the other videos we have on here. It's just him, Jey Uso, and his road to WrestleMania, covering that story, and that's a journey in itself. Well, talking about Willow Nightingale's journey and her rise to the top of AEW's roster and what I want to see from that. So check out that video. Check out who took out Jade Cargill. Real topical right now. Naomi and Bianca just lost the tag titles last night on Raw. So where are we going from here? What's to come next? See who took out Jade Cargill. Also, what's to come from the New Day? And also, my road to WrestleMania and what I want to see for those top 4 world titles at WrestleMania. I'm going to be there live, and I want to see some great matches. So check out what I had to say when it comes to those titles. But let's just jump on into that promo. And he wanted Cody's soul. The Rock stated, "I don't want the WWE title. I want your soul." And this stretches back much further than just Friday. But in my opinion, The Rock is planting a seed. Will Rock and Cody face at WrestleMania 41? I don't believe so. I don't think The Rock is jumping into the chamber at Elimination Chamber or anything. I think that this is just a pin in the story for something later on in the future. If you go back in time, January 2015, Brock and Paul Heyman sat down in an interview with Roman Reigns and talked back and forth to each other, and even kind of hinted at, hey, I would love to work for you, Roman, and I respect you and your family so much, and I have for years prior. Well, jump ahead 5 more years, and now you have a heel Roman Reigns joining up with Paul Heyman. Well, we don't want to keep using Paul Heyman as everybody's heel catalyst, so what if The Rock is Cody's heel catalyst? A friend, somebody that Cody, in that Raw after WrestleMania promo with The Rock was like, hey, can I hold your belt? And Cody said, as long as I can I'll let you hold mine if you let me hold yours. And I think that showed The Rock just how much it costs for Cody's soul. He's willing to give you his if you're willing to give a little bit of yours to him as well. And so throughout the year of the drinking the Mana and going to Moana 2 and inviting his family and our mothers getting along and all that, former rivals turned now good friends, and I'm looking for a brother out of this relationship. Well, that tells me he's trying to etch into Cody's soul bit by bit. Now, will this attempt get there? I don't think so. I think this is more or less to add some layers to Cody's story and his character, because when you look at a John Cena style character, that front facing babyface, a lot of the times the Hogans, the John Cenas, they have these one note characters that don't have a lot of evolving pieces to it until maybe later on in their story after they turn heel or in the later half of their career. So we're trying to give Cody that now, so that way we're not having that same type of fan backlash of a babyface doing the same stick over and over again. So adding this layer of, hey, maybe I will, maybe I won't accept The Rock's offer. I don't think in the end Cody accepts The Rock's offer. But what I do believe he'll end up doing is piss off a lot of people. And you already kind of saw an inkling of that on Raw, of Seth being like, yo, like, what's taking you so long to say no? We broke our backs together last year to do that. Well, and to defeat The Rock and the Bloodline. So how you're just going to accept this offer from him now? You're just going to turn your back on the fans and the people, which is something The Rock similarly did. And I've heard other podcasters bring it up. Oh, just like The Rock was the corporate champion in 1998, same can happen with Cody. And I do agree with that. I just don't think it's time yet. And so who sells out? Who gives The Rock their soul over to The Rock, in my opinion? And you could say, is it John Cena? You saw that man come out. He started the week happy at the Royal Rumble. That at the match, he's, oh, I'm happy to be here. I'm about to win this. By the end of that night, he had the most serious face. How it started, how it ended. Well, I have to do what's best for business, and I have to insert myself into the match and go towards the Elimination Chamber so I can main event WrestleMania. Well, we've never heard John Cena say what's best for business like that. He said it as if he was almost a part of the authority, and he battled against the authority. And we've always looked at John as corporate John for so long. Well, what if John is like, well, y'all have thought that about me so long? You know what? Well, I'm going to give you what you think finally. I'm going to be corporate, but that's because I'm tired of sacrificing. I want it for me now. I don't think number 17 comes that selfishly. I don't think number 17 comes on that kind of energy. It could be fun. It could definitely be such a roller coaster. And to have John Cena give his soul over to one of his biggest rivals in The Rock, especially when it comes to WrestleMania. They've done very big matches at WrestleMania, and you were able to play off that rivalry even last year when John Cena came out to help Cody, and then you hit The Rock's music, and John looked shook as can be. Oh no, it's the final boss. It's The Rock. So it could go down that road, but I just don't see it going that way personally, because I think John's story is better suited as a babyface. I'm here to win 17 so I can give it to the person who wins 18. That sounds like a babyface thing to say. It's a selfless thing to say. So I don't think it's John's time to be heel. I don't think that's coming out of this run. But you know who has been a hypocrite? You know who has sold enough of his soul already? So what's one more piece of my soul to get what my family deserves? Well, that's Drew McIntyre for you people. Drew McIntyre came to SmackDown not too long ago, hugged Cody and stated, hey, I'm here for you. Are you okay, Cody? Everybody's checking in on Cody, but the thing is, it's the way he said, I'm here for you. Not only I'm here for you to check in as a friend, not only am I here for your title, I'm here because I'm happy to already sold my soul to The Rock. But he wants to see if you'll do it first, but he already picked the horse he wants. I mean, last year on Raw, prior to WrestleMania, who beat Cody? That was Drew McIntyre who beat him. One of the only people that, like Cody brought up, a small hand of people who beat Cody while he's returned to, once he came back to WWE. And one of those people is Drew. So when we're talking about people who already have credibility, he's got that over Cody. And yeah, he's lost a couple times to Jimmy and Jay recently. But what's a couple losses when you're about to go on a huge run and you're losing them to two people who could benefit those wins? And a Jay who then won the Rumble after that, and a Jimmy who might win a U.S. title after that. Who knows? We'll see what Jimmy does for WrestleMania. But in a promo with Punk and Drew talked about being the chosen one, and Punk said, what paragon of truth named you that? And we know about who named him that, and that's man from yesteryear. But what if that has all been this thing? It's kind of come up a couple different times, that chosen one thing. Well, what if he has been elected as the chosen one by a new person? Well, we talked about in that promo with Cody, hey, somebody who's carried the company, somebody who has been here for the fans, somebody who was the people's champ at one point, but then had to change their ways of doing it as the people's champ. Well, Drew then went from being the people's champ to doing it on his own. And at last year's WrestleMania, he learned I can't do it on my own that way either, because I won the title, but I still lost it because I didn't have somebody watching my back. Well, we get to this year. This is a Drew McIntyre who re-signed with WWE. And when he re-signed with WWE, The Rock gifted him a sword. Well, what better way to have the people's champ and The Rock's champ than to have Drew McIntyre take the title off of Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania and to have a legitimate WWE title reign. And I say legitimate because if you look back his last year, he's had a very popular year. He's been one of the top people on the mic for sure, but he won the belt to lose it right away. He won Money in the Bank to cash it in right away, to lose it right away. He's had a lot of start stops, and he lost the feud with Punk. So Drew needs and deserves a big title win and a run, so why not kick that off at WrestleMania and him being the corporate champion? take a second, think about it like this. The Rock is Thanos, and he had family members of his own convinced and talked to on the other side by Tony Stark and his Avengers, Cody Rhodes. So he lost Jay and he lost Sami from the bloodline side on over to Cody's side. And you could say that's like Gamora and Nebula. So in that same way that he lost family members, and those same family members helped aid in the defeat of Thanos, those same family members aided in the defeat of the bloodline. So Rock's new mission and goal is to get new people on his side. And so, okay, I need to gather somebody new and somebody who's powerful, who I can grow and make even stronger. So that being a Drew. And then I need to also create infighting within their own group. And The Rock has given Seth his flowers as well in public. So though they ignored that in the promo on Raw this past Monday, I do believe we do have some business with Seth joining up with The Rock as well down the line. That hypocritical behavior, I think it's going to come out again later down the line. And Cody, like I stated, his time will come as well, but I don't think we get there anytime soon. But I can look at The Rock, this new final boss. He's trying to truly make himself the final boss of this universe, as another old person back in the day used to be where the buck stopped at. But you look at people willing to compromise their souls, well, to stack another reason there that Drew is The Rock's champ. He had already turned his back and said, you know what, I'm cool with Solo and Jacob and all y'all. I'll work with y'all this time. Well, if he's done that one time with the bloodline already, hey, what's working with The Rock? The biggest star, somebody who can take him from this level to that level and it be something meaningful to Drew. Drew could use that. And so I think it's time that Drew cashes in for him. What do y'all think about that? Drop a comment below. Let me know. I originally had Drew facing Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, and I don't know if that's the way it goes anymore now, but I think maybe this is the way it goes. And you might question, what does Sami do at WrestleMania? And I'll probably have a better idea about that after Elimination Chamber, but currently where I'm sitting at, it's Drew winning the Chamber, Drew going on the face Cody at WrestleMania for the WWE title. I know I had John Cena, but in my brain, this Logan Paul John Cena match seems to be the thing that is on the horizon for Cena. And Logan talked about being a history maker. Well, what better way to be a history maker than to beat John Cena at his last WrestleMania? I can already see the promo now. So I think that might be the way for Cena, and that if that is the case, yuck. But I can also understand protecting his one time he does go for the title to be the official time he wins it this year. I can see holding on to that moment until SummerSlam later on. So I'm curious to see where we go from here with that. But that leads me to talk about what Sami Zayn's actually doing at the show, and he will be in an unsanctioned match facing Kevin Owens, which I do believe Sami's going to win this due to a distraction from Randy Orton coming out to assist. Said the same thing for the ladder match. I think it's due time for Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to start their build for their match at WrestleMania. So I do think we kick that off here at Elimination Chamber, finally. That leads me to talk about Tiffany and Trish versus Candice and Nia Jax in a tag team match. This is an effort to create a baby face and add some momentum behind Tiffany that she is really struggling to garner for herself, just due to the fact that her storyline did not kick off with her having a formal babyface / heel turn. She was a heel. Now all of a sudden she's a face, and we've had these shades of gray and letting people ebb and flow back and forth, but this feels like she is more or less being cemented as a babyface, and we never got the chance to actually work our way through that storyline, give her a full-on reason to turn babyface. We started with Nia, but we never really got there. And so you kind of feel this apprehension with the crowd, and the same with Charlotte. Charlotte is a babyface that is a heel. because the fans just don't like her. And so how do we get them to the points that they need to be for WrestleMania? We had the same thing happen with Rhea and Charlotte going into WrestleMania 39. A popular heel that's being treated more like a babyface against your babyface winner going to challenge for the title. It's happened once before. It's going to happen again. I'm just curious to see if we can actually get Charlotte to where she needs to be and get Tiffy to where she needs to be. I think we had so much more gas in Tiffany's heel tank, but we'll see how she does as a babyface. Lastly, that leads me to the women's chamber match and talking about the new women's tag team champions from this past Monday, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Well, I have Liv Morgan winning the Elimination Chamber, and that's my scenario 1. And not only, you might say, why Liv Morgan? Because in scenario 2, it's a straight clean match, but scenario 1, I have a triple threat for you at WrestleMania. And that's going to be Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. I think Liv comes out, plays distraction to Io, messes up that match. Io then wants another shot because she didn't get that fair shot. It's made into a triple threat. Or we go the straight route, and in scenario 2, Bianca Belair wins the match. And if Bianca Belair wins the match, it's Bianca and Rhea, and Rhea's just going to walk over Io because she's never beat her before, and so they need to have that, I finally beat somebody who I couldn't beat before, thing before Mania. Io deserves better, but I'm also happy to see Bianca go into a singles push again and to get the world title again. So I could go either way. It feels like Bianca has a bigger purpose in this Jade story, but we will see where things go. But with that, I'm excited to attend Elimination Chamber live. I will be doing some of the meet and greets and some of the other activities around Toronto. My goal is to have videos, pictures up, and I will also be able to have a video up for you all next week covering my thoughts about Elimination Chamber live, as well as us progressing towards WrestleMania and putting my final WrestleMania card in place for this year. So stay tuned, check it out, hit like, hit subscribe, rock with the other videos. But in the meantime, between time, I'll see you on the other side of the chamber. Peace and chicken grease.